Hello, welcome back to Paleo Talks. And if you were here last week, we just finished the Permian period. So we're moving on to the Triassic, the first age of dinosaurs. This one will be relatively short. It is going to be a one video period. The Jurassic will be long. Cretaceous will be very long. And then after the dinosaurs will be like the other half of the series. It'll be so long. Because we'll be doing the prehistoric animals, then we'll hit early humans, and then that's just a whole different ballgame. I could do a series on that alone. But I digress. We're talking about the Triassic today. Humans are millions of years in the future from now. Let's kick it right off with one of my favorite animals, Postosuchus. Big teeth, it's a big animal. It's, if you remember Inostrancevia from last week, you'll see a lot of similarities. But notice no saber teeth. This is actually not related to Inostrancevia any more than the fact that they're both reptiles with, they have spines and bones and stuff. So it's not really related. It's actually much more closely related to crocodiles. And, you look at it, and that sort of makes sense. You can see the crocodile-like studs and such on it, and it's a very thick-skinned animal. And you can really see, okay, yeah, this is what a crocodile would look like if it lived on land, predominantly. So, that is basically what that is. And it's quite large, as you can see. Not as big as Inostrancevia, a bit smaller. And there's our buddy. Man, this guy is a real time traveler. This guy, he is a great guy. Our 1.8 meter tall human buddy. I'm so grateful to have him around. I mean, he really does put things into perspective. So here it is. It's big. It's scaly. It's mean. It eats things. What more do you want? Now, what does it hunt? Well, it hunts Placerias. Again, still not a dinosaur. You can see these big tusks, and those are used in the males for fighting. But the females have them as well, and they're also useful for digging up roots and tubers and things like that for the animal to eat. And you can see the tusks really well, and you can see it doesn't have teeth. It's got a beak there. And with a lot of especially the ceratopsians, so things like Triceratops, beaks are very common in dinosaurs, even though this is not a dinosaur. It's still very common for herbivores to be beaked like that, which makes a good amount of sense. It's kind of like a parrot, you know what I mean? It's very strong and a powerful beak. And this is actually quite a bit bigger than Postosuchus. And the crazy thing is Postosuchus ate this. This is what Postosuchus hunted. So, it's very large, and this thing is very docile and easygoing, and it's basically a big fat cow, as you can see. Lazy, easygoing, and ready to be eaten. Now, the first dinosaur, Coelophysis. Not very large, but it was, so it might remind you of a raptor, but it was way before raptors. Raptors evolved in the early Cretaceous, which, we're here. Raptors evolve about here. So, this thing is a raptor ancestor. Definitely. It's very large. It's not very large. It's very small. These are probably pack hunters. Here's a better picture. And you can see it's got this narrow head. So its bite isn't very strong. But this definitely, it's not the predominant carnivore. That's what Postosuchus is. These are scavengers, and they're actually known to be cannibals. They found skeletons of smaller Coelophysis inside the stomachs of larger ones. So, they're not exactly the nicest. These are mean little bastards. But, it's not far from they eat dead and dying things. They're not hunters yet. They'll eat small animals. This is another dinosaur, and this is a very large herbivorous dinosaur, Plateosaurus. Or Plateosaurus. Take your pick. Tomato, tomato. I've actually never known anyone to say tomato, but you get the point. And here's our body, and you can see this thing is huge. And these are what are known as prosauropods. So they are before sauropods. Now, sauropods are, in layman's terms, long-necked dinosaurs. And you see the neck isn't quite as long. And it's not big, thundering, and heavy. It's actually quite agile. It can even go up on 2 legs. As you see in this picture here, with a couple coelophysis. It's actually kind of cute. This one looks like it's whispering to its buddy. But, you know, dinosaurs can't talk. The land before time is a lie. Anyhow, you can see it rears up to go eat trees and such. There's another view of them here crossing a waterfall. They're very large animals and nothing can really hurt them. But as carnivores got bigger, the prosauropods had to get bigger and evolve into true sauropods because the main defense of a sauropod is being too big for anything to eat. So, again, Plateosaurus, it's got these. You can see its head is actually kind of funny looking. Scientists aren't sure why it's looking like that, but it's sort of morphing into the sauropod's head. It is an herbivore, as you probably noticed there's a fern hanging out of its mouth. Long-necked dinosaurs are herbivores. Sauropods are herbivores, as are prosauropods. However, some scientists think prosauropods may have been omnivores, but this is the scientific consensus that they were primarily herbivores. Now, we have a little guy, Patinosaurus. It's an early pterosaur. Again, not dinosaurs. See, now pterosaurs you will see throughout the Mesozoic era, which is Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, the time of the dinosaurs. Not dinosaurs. Most of the swimming dinosaurs aren't dinosaurs either. But they're closely related. These are flying reptiles. Pterosaurs, they're called. And Patinosaurus wasn't very large. If I had guessed, it'd be about that big, maybe. So, you know, for a bird nowadays, that's large. Here it is eating a dragonfly, and that is a normal-sized dragonfly. Not the eagle-sized dragonfly from a few episodes ago. It's a very small animal when you compare it to Plateosaurus, which is just massive. Now, another thing, actually a very interesting one, is, which has actually got Patinosaurus, it's about the same size. It's a little rat thing, they call it. It's actually called Thyronoxodon. It is a cynodont, which are a group of small mammal-like reptiles. Some of the cooler things I've seen is these things may have been furry. They gave birth to live young. They lived in burrows. They're sort of like they're like the Diactodon of the Triassic. The Diactodon of the Triassic. If you remember a couple episodes ago, that's the little burrowing guy. So, they fill the niche of the little burrowing thing. Coelophysis may have hunted these just because it's something. You know, it's something you could actually catch and kill. But, you know, they're primarily... So these are carnivores, as you can see, big fangs. So they may have eaten bugs or fish or something. Scientists aren't really sure what they ate. They were probably opportunists. Not much is known about them. Other than that, they're little rat-looking things. In layman's terms. I will see you next week on Paleo Talks.